Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel west, taking a few minutes to arrive, once a fine bedchamber, rot, and decay have reduced everything here to decrepit junk. Doing a quick survey of the room, you first notice a coffin lying on the floor opposite a once lavish bed, the coffin shaped to hold a full dwarven adult. Second, and much more surprising, you notice that little dust has accumulated within the chamber and the floor appears to have been swept recently. Hence, it appears that someone is actually living here. Spending a little time to search the bedroom more thoroughly, you find the usual assortment of furniture, clothing, and knickknacks common to such a chamber. Again, nearly everything is decaying, but a few items seem newer or in decent repair, suggesting that someone might actually dwell here. Peering into the coffin, however, it is quite empty. This coffin likely belongs to an actual vampire, Kartha suggests, somewhat unnerved. And I sense this one will be even more difficult to slay than the vampire spawn we faced. Where is this monster? Ariana asks, looking about. Not here, Eswin returns, his hand on his weapon. But it's probably not far, so stay alert. While the rotting bedroom is certainly unnerving, there is not much here to interact with, so you will want to move along. Of course, your only option is to return east back to the main hallway. Barthol has a 50% chance of picking the lock and rolls a 27 on percentile dice. Success. Barthol has a 50% chance of picking the lock and rolls a 55 on percentile dice. Failure. The dresser remains locked and impassable to the party. Your heroes bash open the dresser, destroying the locking mechanism and making its contents. Your party searches for traps but don't find any. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel east. GM alert, the perpetual poison affecting this location again damages your party. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel east, taking 5 minutes to arrive, passing through the rotting door, you enter what looks to be a small living area, a place where a few dwarves could pass the time in leisure. Like everywhere else, the chamber had been ransacked and destroyed. However, some of the furniture has been righted, the fireplace is ablaze and it looks as if someone has been caring for the room somewhat. It does not take long for your party to recognize that the room is occupied. Sitting in the far corner of the chamber with her back to you is a dwarven woman, dressed in very fine, perhaps regal, clothing and apparently knitting something as she softly hums to herself. As you slowly approach, the dwarf remains seated with her back to you, calling out as if she already knows of your presence. My, you do cause quite the commotion, loud enough to wake the dead. Using the mirror shard you took, you don't see any reflection. She's a vampire. The dwarf puts her knitting down, stands and turns to you, slowly and with precision, as if her movement has been rehearsed 1,000 times. Wearing an elaborate dress fit for a queen, the woman looks all of you over before engaging in conversation. I am Queen Glastrabelin, of the House of Greybelly, rightful rulers of all Chegoria. And who would you be? How do you respond to this apparent dwarven queen? Choose an option. Curiosity, how is it you're alive down here? Empathy, can we be of service to you? Honor, we're here to avenge all of you. You believe I am alive? The queen responds with a wry smile. This place holds only death, are you so foolish to think that I am an exception? Queen Glastrabelin, what happened to you and your kin here? Kartha asks, trying to change the subject. The dwarven woman frowns and looks away, angry and heartbroken. I tried to tell my husband, King Strovik, that the ultimates were a threat, that we needed to take the fight to them. But he wouldn't listen, insisting that the ultimates were nothing compared to us, that they would soon fade away. He was so wrong, and when the ultimates came, they didn't just sack our home and kill everyone. Queen Glastrabelin takes a deep breath before continuing her story. They cursed us, transforming us into monsters of the night, rendering us with this wretched immortality and a hunger that can never be satisfied. Are you undead? Eswin asks directly, sorry for her condition but ready to put her down if need be. "'Tis a fate worse than death," the queen responds, a small tear sliding down her cold, lifeless face. "We are on a quest to help destroy the ultimates," Redfern boldly states, hoping that the cause will help curtail her pain. "We will try to avenge you." "I am afraid that will not be possible," Queen Glastrabelin replies, her face remaining sad. "All of you have a different fate in store, I believe." "And what is that?" Eswin asks, his instincts warning him to prepare for combat. "I haven't fed in nearly a year, I need sustenance. I shall drain all of you, and you will become my spawn for all eternity." Her story sad yet intense, your entire party can't help but look deeply into the queen's eyes. And now everyone needs to try a saving throw versus spells. The dwarven queen grins, a lovely, heartfelt smile that is so hard to resist that you suddenly feel your only purpose in life is to offer your nourishing blood to her. Then, with your party potentially charmed, the vampire queen attacks. Your party is under attack. About to attack your party is one vampire queen. Vampire queen attacks Oriana with her bite, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 7, plus 8 to hit. Vampire queen misses Oriana. Vampire queen again attacks Eswin with her gaze, potentially charming him but ineffective. Eswin is immune to charm person. It's Oriana's turn. What do you want her to do? Oriana uses a boots of speed on herself, allowing herself to act twice each round for 5 minutes. It's Eswin's turn. Eswin uses a boots of speed on himself, allowing himself to act twice each round for 5 minutes. Needing a 45 or less on percentile dice, a 21 is rolled. Success. Needing a 35 or less on percentile dice, a 73 is rolled. Failure. Mariola. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Sainadius. Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 14. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Sainadius readies his mace +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Barthol readies his short sword +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 16 to hit, +4 due to hiding in shadows. Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 5, +7 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen. Marioleth casts Magic Missile on Vampire Queen, striking her with a magic missile for 8 points of damage. Vampire Queen attacks Oriana with her bite, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 17, +8 to hit. Vampire Queen hits Oriana, level draining her, needing a 7 or greater. Oriana rolls a 2 and fails versus Death Ray or Poison. Vampire Queen further damages Oriana, biting her for 11 points of damage and leaving Oriana with 14 hit points. In addition, the Vampire Queen regenerates 11 lost hit points from the attack and now has 32 hit points. Also, the monster has attached itself to Oriana and will automatically hit now with each subsequent round until defeated. Vampire Queen again attacks Marioleth with her gaze, nearly charming her but not effective, needing a 10 or greater. Marioleth rolls a GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. It's Oriana. Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 11. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a Arthal uses an orb of alchemist fire on roughly half of all encountered combatants, blasting them in chemical fire. Vampire Queen is burned for 20 points of damage, needing a 13 or greater. Vampire Queen rolls a 7 and fails versus Dragon Breath. It's Nyers' turn. Nyers readies his mace +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 19. Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 20. Marioleth uses a scroll of magic missile on Vampire Queen, striking her with a magic missile for 8 points of damage. Vampire Queen has been defeated. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 150 experience points. A final blow is struck and the Vampire Queen collapses to her feet. Before you can do anything more, however, the Queen's corpse suddenly fades into mist, disappearing without your party able to drive a stake through her heart. Where did she go? Eswin curses, looking about. Back to her coffin. Cartha replies, pointing back to the west. And she will likely be fully healed again. The fight against the vampire apparently not over, your heroes look to you for order. The small living area here remains quiet and relatively empty. The way back west leads to the southern end of the central hallway, while another stone door east looks intriguing. Cartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Ariana, healing her for 8 hit points. Arthal has a 50% chance of picking the lock and rolls a 31 on percentile dice. Success. The desk is on. Your party searches for traps but don't find any. Travel alert, returning to the rotting bedroom, you take 10 minutes to arrive. Returning to the rotting bedroom here, having already fought the Vampire Queen, you approach the coffin still lying atop the bed, weapons out and ready for anything. Peering into the coffin, you find the Vampire Queen, she has been resurrected here. As you prepare a wooden stake to pierce the heart of the Vampire Queen and destroy her forever, the undead woman's eyes suddenly open, and before you can attack her, she transforms into a large bat, leaping into the open ceiling of the bedchamber. Flying about for several long moments, you're further surprised when nearly a dozen more giant bats fly in from the east, circling the Queen Vampire as she descends and takes her dwarven form again. Thinking quickly, Eswin sets fire to the Queen's coffin. Now with nowhere to return to, the vampire screams in wretched anger and attacks, along with her 10 giant bats. Your party is under attack. About to attack your party are 1 Vampire Queen and 10 giant bats. It's Ariana's turn. What do you want her to do? Ariana uses a Boots of Speed on herself, allowing herself to act twice each round for 5 minutes. It's Arthal's turn. What do you want him to do? Needing a 45 or less on percentile dice, a 27 is rolled. Marioleth casts web on roughly half of all encountered combatants, attempting to immobilize them in sticky goo. Giant bat number 1 avoids the attack altogether, giant bat number 10 avoids the attack altogether, giant bat number 2 eludes, immune. Janet uses a blink dog on Vampire Queen, biting her for 4 points of damage for a half hour. It's Red. Redfern casts Fireball on roughly half of all encountered combatants, blasting them in an explosion of flame. Giant Bat number 1 avoids the attack altogether. Giant Bat number 10 it's Eswin's turn. What do you want him to do? Eswin uses a Boots of Speed on himself, allowing himself to act twice each. Giant Bat number 10 attacks Eswin with its bite, needing a 21. Vampire Queen attacks Eswin with her bite, needing a 21 to hit. Die roll is a 6, plus 8 to hit. Giant Bat number 1 attacks Janet with its bite, needing a. Giant Bat number 7 attacks Sainairs with its bite, needing a 9. It's Sainairs' turn. What do you want him to do? Sainairs casts Bless on the entire party, potentially blessing them. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Kartha readies her, Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Giant Bat number 4, needing a 13 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 19 to hit. Janet uses a skeletal seed on Vampire Queen, causing the monstrous hero to attack her for 2 points of damage for 10 minutes. It's Muriel's turn. What do you want her to do? Needing a 35 or less on percentile dice, a 20 is rolled. Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Giant Bat number 8, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a 9. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 9. Giant Bat number 8 attacks Ariana with its bite, needing a 20. It's Janet's Blink Dog's turn. What do you want it to do? Janet directs her Blink Dog at Vampire Queen, biting her for 2 points of damage and leaving her. Vampire Queen attacks Eswin with her bite, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 5. It's Redfern's turn. What do you want him to do? Redfern casts Magic Missile on Vampire Queen, striking her with a magic missile. Arthal uses an Orb of Alchemist Fire on roughly half of all encountered combatants, blasting them in chemical fire. Giant Bat number 1 avoids the attack altogether. Giant Bat number 10, Sainairs readies his mace +1 and swings at Giant Bat number 7. Kartha readies her mace +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 19 to hit. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 19 to hit. Marioleth readies her longsword +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 15 to hit. Janet casts Cause Light Wounds on Vampire Queen, nearly wounding her, needing a 14 or greater. Vampire Queen rolls a 15 and saves for no damage versus spells. Redfern readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 9. Vampire Queen attacks Eswin with her bite, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 18, +8 to hit. Vampire Queen hits Eswin, nearly level, draining him permanently, needing a 5 or greater. Eswin rolls a 12 and saves versus Death Ray or Poison. It's Janet's Summoned Undead's turn. What do you want it to do? Janet directs her Summoned Undead at Vampire Queen, causing the monstrous hero to attack. Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 19 to hit. Die roll is a 15. Arthal readies his short sword +1 and swings at Vampire Queen, needing a 15 to hit. +4 due to hiding in shadows. Die roll is a 14, +5 to hit and does triple damage. Barthol hits Vampire Queen, doing 24 points of damage and defeating her. It's Senire's turn. Senire's readies his mace +1 and swings at Giant Bat number. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Giant Bat number 10, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a Kartha readies her mace +1 and swings at Giant Bat number 1, needing a 13 to hit. Die roll is a Janet directs her Blink Dog at Giant Bat number 1, biting it for 6 points of damage and defeating it. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 244 experience points. The Vampire Queen finally goes down and your party wastes little time in driving a final stake through her heart, destroying the monster forever. Well done. Still breathing heavily from the difficult battle, Kartha kneels beside the slain queen and says a soft prayer to herself, showing deserved respect to a dwarven woman who didn't deserve such a fate. Seeing this, Senire's kneels beside Kartha and similarly utters a simple prayer. We will avenge these dwarves, Eswin finally says, breaking the silence. I look forward to destroying every ultimate we can find. All in agreement, Kartha and Senire's climb back to their feet, all of you ready to depart the grisly chamber. The encounter here is complete. Of course, your only option is to return east back to the main hallway. The unlocked trunk here is 3 feet by 1 foot and 2 feet tall. Opening it, you find a variety of fine dwarven clothing inside, most of it still in good condition. The wooden coffin lying on the bed here is roughly dwarf-sized and is so finely carved and decorated that it looks fit for a king, or queen. GM alert, Bless is no longer affecting the party. Senire's casts Cure Light Wounds on Eswin, healing him for 7 hit points. Travel alert, returning to the small living area, you take 10 minutes to arrive. The small living area here remains quiet and relatively empty. The way back west leads to the southern end of the central hallway, while another stone door east looks intriguing. GM note, it's dark here. Click the Use Item button to select a source of light. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel northeast, taking a minute to arrive. Massive stone double doors open into this large chamber, an ancient palace room where the dwarven king and his personal guard dwelled long ago. Like everywhere else, this room has been ransacked and vandalized. Large paintings of past dwarven royalty have been slashed and broken, and the once mighty obsidian throne now lies in jagged pieces across the dusty floor. You can't help but feel a sense of shame and anger at those responsible for the destruction of this once glorious chamber. Spreading out, your party conducts a thorough search of the area. Apart from a similar set of doors leading out of the Grand Palace room to the east, you find nothing more, regrouping again alongside the shattered throne. There is nothing here, Eswin reports, eyeing the doors to the east. Let's move on. A moment later, you're surprised by a disembodied voice that calls out, a mere whisper yet a strong voice filled with sorrow and pain. Intruders. Your light is suddenly snuffed out, plunging the chamber into total darkness. You then feel the air temperature drop, and the hairs on the back of your neck stiffen. Something very powerful is coming. Moments later, a ghostly figure appears hovering above the ruins of the old throne. Translucent white, the figure appears to be a noble dwarven man, dressed in ceremonial plate armor and likely the king of the dwarves here when the castle was attacked and destroyed. Your entire party feels an incredible sense of fear and dread from the apparition, so much so that it's all you can do to stand there and face the ghost without turning to flee in utter terror. More spirits materialize around you, the king's personal guard, strong dwarven warriors seemingly invincible. Assuming they've come to attack, the ghosts instead ready themselves for a coming onslaught, facing the western doors with great intensity. As if watching a movie from long ago, the western doors burst open and in come dozens of ultimates, all of them floating in mid-air and attacking with fire, lightning, and even disintegration bolts. One by one the dwarven guards are destroyed, and soon the ultimates turn to face the king himself. Your castle has fallen, your guard destroyed. One of the ultimates announces, 24 or so of the phantoms now encircling the great dwarven king. You are defeated, we are supreme. I shall never bow to the likes of you. The king cries, defiant to the end. Do as you will, I am no patsy to the ultimates. Then we curse you, King Strovic. May you forever haunt these ruined halls, and in undeath reflect on your arrogance and selfish pride. The ultimates then combine all their magical strength to transform the king into something undead, causing the entire chamber to be saturated with unholy light. The light fades and the king is left alone atop his broken throne, the flashback over. The ghostly being then looks to all of you, seemingly unable to differentiate between you and the ultimates from long ago. How dare you attack this sacred fortress? All of your lives are forfeit, I will destroy all of you. The ghost then slowly approaches to attack, his anger absolute. What do you say to the king? Choose an option. Diplomacy, king, we're here to help you. Reason, king, we aren't your enemy. Spirit, king, you're under a terrible spell. Awaiting a response from the king, he simply ignores your passionate plea, continuing straight for your party. He thinks we're the ultimates who attacked him. Redfern cries out, preparing for combat. He can't be reasoned with. Whatever happens, don't let him touch you. Kartha cries out as the ghost attacks. Your party is under attack. Eyeing the entire party is one dwarven ghost. It's Murieleth's turn. What do you want her to do? Murieleth readies her longsword +1 and swings at dwarven ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 7, +3 to hit, Murieleth miss. Ariana uses a boots of speed on herself, allowing herself to act twice each round for 5 minutes. It's Redfern's turn. What do you want him to do? Redfern readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at dwarven ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 10, Redfern misses dwarven ghost. Dwarven ghost attacks Ariana with its touch, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 15, +9 to hit, dwarven ghost hits Ariana, draining her and permanently decreasing her constitution score by 1 point. Dwarven ghost further damages Ariana, touching her for 2 points of damage and leaving Ariana with 20 hit points. Dwarven ghost again attacks Sane. It's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet uses a glowing skull throughout the entire local area, illuminating everything well. It's Barthol's turn. What do you want? Needing a 45 or less on percentile dice, a 54 is rolled. Failure. Barthol. Sainairs casts Spiritual Hammer on Dwarven Ghost, bashing it for 5 points of damage. Kartha readies her mace +1 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled, with higher values acting first. Eswin uses a Boots of Speed on himself, allowing himself to act twice each round for 5 minutes. It's Oriana's turn. What do you want her to do? Oriana uses a skeletal seed on Dwarven Ghost, causing the monstrous hero to attack it for 4 points of damage for 10 minutes. It's Eswin's turn. What do Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 14, +8 to hit, needing a 45 or less on percentile dice, a 61. Janet uses a blink dog on Dwarven Ghost, biting it for 4 points of damage for a half hour. It's Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll. Redfern casts Magic Missile on Dwarven Ghost, striking it with a magic missile for 9 points of damage. Sainadius readies his mace +1 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 20, which is an automatic hit. Kartha readies her mace +1 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 18, +5 to hit. Kartha hits Dwarven Ghost, doing 7 points of damage, and Marioleth readies her longsword +1 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20. Sainadius directs his spiritual hammer at Dwarven Ghost, bashing it for 6 points of damage and leaving it with 3 hit points. Dwarven Ghost attacks Oriana with its touch, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll is a 20, which is an automatic hit. Dwarven Ghost hits Oriana, draining her and permanently decreasing her constitution score by 1 point. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled. Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at Dwarven Ghost, needing a 20 to hit. Die roll is a 13, +7 to hit. Oriana hits Dwarven Ghost, doing 8 points of damage and defeating it. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 174 experience points. A final blow is struck, and the ghost of the Dwarven King cries out one last time, his voice chilling your very soul. Instead of fading away, however, the ghost approaches Oriana. The elf instinctively puts her hands out to stop the monster, but the attack happens quickly and the spirit strikes her, causing Oriana to shriek. It is then gone, and for a terrifying moment you worry that the ghost has possessed the elf. Oriana, are you injured? Redfern cries as he steps to her, inspecting the young woman for obvious signs of trauma. Has the ghost possessed you? I don't think so, Oriana returns, looking herself over. A thought then occurs to the elf and she withdraws the heart-shaped ruby necklace she found earlier. Shining within is a bright reddish light, a light that wasn't there before, and you can only surmise that the ghost of the Dwarven King has implanted himself within the ruby. Interesting, Redfern comments, inspecting the jewel directly. Hang on to this, Oriana. Perhaps we haven't seen the last of the Dwarven King. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. Let's get out of here, Eswin demands, having had enough of the old palace room. Following the warrior to the stone double doors to the east, you're dismayed to find that the doors are not only locked but possess no keyhole, apparently no way of getting through. Unless you can figure out a way to unlock the doors, you won't be able to proceed east. Searching the remains of the obsidian throne, you soon find what appear to be rusting wires within the stone, running underground and in the direction of the double doors to the east. Grabbing hold and pulling the wires as taut as possible, You soon hear a clicking noise from the doors as the deadbolt within is pulled out of place. The doors are unlocked. Ariana shouts, able to push one of them in with relative ease. The encounters within the Dwarven Palace chamber complete, it's time to move on. You can pass through the double doors to the east where several more areas await, or you can return west back toward the central hallway. Ariana uses a potion of light healing on herself, healing her for 10 hit points. Janet uses a scroll of restoration on Ariana, restoring her and removing all afflictions, including energy drain. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel southeast, taking a minute to arrive. Leaving the Dwarven Palace room behind you to the west, you enter a small corridor leading north to south. Here, the corridor ends in yet another ceiling collapse, large timbers and stone preventing any further progress south. While there is little to search here, let's do a party curiosity check to see if anyone notices anything more. Needing a 11 or less from your heroes, a 12 was rolled. Failure, no, sorry, nobody in the party notices anything further. The collapsed hallway south a dead end, you can head north toward 2 doors on the right and 1 door at the far end of the corridor. You can also go back west and revisit the palace room if you wish. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel northeast, taking a minute to arrive. Stepping into the smaller chamber, you appear to have entered a ruined barracks. About half a dozen cots, stools, trunks, and so forth lie about in a jumbled mess, covered in a thick layer of dust, along with the poison clinging to the floor. You estimate that 6 guards once dwelled here, but that's about all you can tell. As you set about searching the barracks, you're disheartened to watch as several ghostly beings materialize, occupying the furniture as if they were still alive. You've faced this type of creature before, undead wraiths, and it only takes a few moments for them to recognize you as living beings and attack. Your party is under attack. Coming at all of you are 6 wraiths. It's Redfern's turn. What do you want him to do? Redfern readies his quarterstaff +1 and swings at wraith number 4, needing a 15 to hit. Die roll is a 19, +4 to hit. Redfern hits wraith needing a 45 or less on percentile dice, a 77 is rolled. Kartha uses turn undead, attempting to turn destroy all encountered undead. Wraith number 1 is turned. Wraith number 4 attacks Ariana with its touch, needing a 22 to hit. Die roll, it's Janet's turn. What do you want her to do? Janet uses turn undead, attempting to turn destroy all encountered undead. Wraith number 2 is turned. Sainairs uses turn undead, attempting to turn destroy all encountered undead. Wraith number 3 is turned. Ariana uses a boots of speed on herself, allowing herself to act, needing a 35 or less on percentile dice, a 26 is rolled. Eswin uses a boots of speed on himself, allowing himself to act. GM note, a new combat round has begun. Initiative is rolled. Ariana readies her longsword +2 and swings at wraith number 6, needing a 15 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at wraith number 6, needing a 15 to hit. Janet uses a blink dog on wraith number 6, biting it for 3 points of damage for a half hour. Cartha readies her mace +1 and swings at wraith number 6. Wraith number 6 attacks Oriana with its touch, needing a 22 to hit. It's Oriana's turn. What do you want her to do? Oriana readies her longsword +2 and swings at wraith number 6, needing a 15 to hit. Arthal readies his short sword +1 and swings at wraith number 5, needing a 15 to hit. Eswin readies his longsword +2 and swings at wraith number 5, needing a 15 to hit. Die roll is a 15, +8 to hit. Eswin hits wraith number 5, doing 11 points of damage and defeating it. Well done. All combatants have been defeated, ending the battle. Each hero receives 240 experience points. The last of the wraiths are defeated, the monsters blinking out of existence once and for all. Those were likely the king's royal guard, Cartha suggests, glad that they are now gone. May their souls now find peace. I doubt there is anything here of value, but we may as well take a look, Eswin suggests, starting to pick through all the debris within the chamber. After 10 minutes or so of searching, your party is surprised to find a bright, shiny shield mixed with all the junk here. So, the fight against the wraiths may have been worth it after all. The small barracks fully explored, it's time to move on. 2 additional areas can be reached to the north, while the remainder of the dungeon can be accessed to the west. Oriana nods and takes the metallic shield +2. Arthal has a 50% chance of picking the lock and rolls a 1 on percentile dice. Success. The footlocker is unlocked and now easily opened. Inside, you find 8 copper pieces. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel north, taking a minute to arrive, descending a flight of stairs and entering this larger chamber from the west, you find what appears to be a destroyed trophy room, with all manner of shields, weapons, plagues and other mementos once attached to the walls and now lying smashed and broken on the floor. Like everywhere else, the room is a jumbled mess, and searching it will take some time. Looking about, it does not take long to recognize that the room is stacked with dwarven skeletons, several dozen altogether. Worse, the skulls of these skeletons are all missing, stuck upon wooden poles as to make trophies themselves. The scene is horrific and again you curse the ultimates for what they have done here. Standing there, you watch as the decapitated skeletons begin to stir, sensing living souls nearby, the monsters shamble to their feet, likely about to attack. What do you wish to do? Choose an option: altruism, return the skulls to the skeletons; diplomacy, attempt to talk to the skeletons; reason, take the fight to the skeletons. Perhaps sensing what the haunted bones here are truly after, you order your party to grab the skulls from atop the wooden poles and, as delicately as you can, hand them back to the marauding skeletons. Your heroes look to you in surprise, but they follow orders, hoping against hope that the approaching monsters recognize the good thing you're doing for them and stand down. Let's do a party dexterity check to see how this goes. Needing a 14 or less from your heroes, a 7 was rolled. Success. Thinking quickly, and acting even more quickly, your heroes not only retrieve the skulls fast enough to prevent an attack but figure out which skulls go to which bodies. In turn, each skeleton receives its skull almost as a gift, and instead of attacking, the monsters simply lie back down again, the unholy magic binding them here dissipating. Soon, all the skeletons have dropped to the floor again and are no longer a threat. Nicely done. Let's reward your action with some bonus experience. Each hero earns 250 experience points. They just wanted their heads returned. Ariana utters, quite surprised by the turn of events. These dwarves were quite honorable before they were slain, Kartha responds. Even in death, that honor remained. The whole of your party agrees, the encounter drawing to a close. The trophy room a bust, you can return up the stairway and try the final door to the north or return to the south. Once dominating the section of wall here and containing hundreds of old books, the shelving has been toppled over and wrecked, its many ruined tomes lying scattered across the floor. The ruined container before you is 3 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet tall, its lid broken off and the chest itself completely empty. Long planks of wood that had been skillfully attached to the wall to serve as a complete shelving unit, they have since been ripped down violently and now lie scattered and ruined on the floor. Travel alert, using the hallway, you travel north, taking a few minutes to arrive, approaching the stone door to the chamber beyond, you notice light spilling from underneath, which seems out of place. Opening the door, an array of magical light silently floating near the ceiling easily illuminates a small library, the northern, western and eastern walls lined with sturdy bookshelves and a massive table dominating the center of the room. While the air is dry and dusty, the library itself appears in good shape, all the books are in their place and the chamber itself does not seem damaged in any way. Stepping into the library, you quickly reach the table, looking about for threats. None to be found, Redfern softly smiles, your party having reached its apparent goal. This looks promising, surely details of the one plant must be here somewhere. I've already found it. Quickly standing to his feet from under the table is a well-dressed human, holding several old tomes and addressing you as if an old friend. Let's do a quick curiosity check on your hero to see if you recognize this man. Needing a 15 or less from Janet, a 8 was rolled. Success, Darius. You ask, utterly stunned. You murderer. Now you die. Ariana shouts, unsheathing her weapon and immediately rushing in the man's direction. Surprised, Darius takes a step back and fumbles the books he is holding. Fortunately for him, Eswin puts out an arm and stops Ariana's attack, needing to understand what's going on. This man killed my brother. Ariana screams, her emotions set wild. He must die. Confused, Eswin looks to you for advice. What do you offer? Choose an option, keep Ariana away from Darius, let Ariana continue with her attack, step over to Ariana and comfort her. The spirit score for Janet remains the same, stepping over to Ariana, you place a hand on her shoulder and ask her to stand down, at least for the moment. Ariana reluctantly agrees and Eswin lets go of her. I remember you now, Darius says to Ariana in a soft, apologetic tone. Those caves, north of Tobin, it was your brother who was sacrificed to the Nemesis plant. You murdered him. Ariana cries out, barely able to hold in her rage. He was an innocent, and you murdered him. The middle-aged man bows his head, steps to Ariana, opens his arms and bares his chest, seemingly inviting her to strike him down right here and now. Yes, I took his life, of which I am truly, truly sorry. My life for his, you can take my life now if you please. Without a second thought, Ariana reaches back to strike, about to smite the ultimate right here and now. Recalling what Darius did to Ariana's brother Benjamin, how he planned to assassinate the Inner Circle member Margaret and help usher a new rebellion against the Circle, you're quite confused now, the ultimate not only sorry for his actions but apparently willing to even die for them. None of this makes any sense. Let's have Ariana try an empathy check and we will see how that goes. Needing a 13 or less from Ariana, a 9 was rolled. Success, wanting to strike the magic user down with every fiber of her being, Ariana instead drops her weapon, turns to you and begins to sob, her old wounds ripped open again. Comforting the elf, at least she stayed her hand and purposely let Darius live. What is going on? Cartha finally asks, breaking the awkward silence. Darius slowly stands to his feet again, politely answering Cartha's question. The elf here is correct, I am responsible for her brother's death and I deserve to die because of it. But if you will spare me, I have news that you will want to hear. And you are? Sainadius asks, the question on nearly everyone's mind. The name's Darius, and until recently I was yet one more ultimate of Chegoria, scheming to sow chaos wherever I could, rebel against the inner circle and grow the nemesis plants throughout Mariga. I met Janet and this elf here north of Tobin, where my accomplice and I manufactured a poison to drug the populace of Tobin so we could assassinate member Margaret as she was passing through. It was a good plan, but I was foiled by Janet and teleported away, lucky to be alive. And where did you go? You ask, recalling how Darius teleported himself away but left Rachel to die. In my haste to escape, I foolishly returned to the power tower in Jeb, the seat of absolute power here in Chegoria. Darius continues, his story painful. I had returned a failure, and the ultimates do not tolerate failure, not at all. I was imprisoned, tortured, then sentenced to death. The recent memories again flooding the man, Darius begins to tremble, his traumatic experience easy to recognize. Indeed, you sense that Darius has completely changed and you almost feel sorry for him. How would you like to respond to your former enemy? Choose an option: empathy, it appears you've been through hell; honor, then help us defeat the ultimates; tolerance, what are your plans, then? Defeating the ultimates is why I am here, the shaken man utters. I see now that they are a bane upon this world and need to be eradicated. And how, exactly, did you escape the ultimates? Sainadius asks, a little disbelieving of Darius' story. Like the elf's brother, I was fed to a nemesis plant, along with several other enemies of the ultimates, Darius continues, staring blankly forward. And not just any plant, but the one plant, deep within the depths of the power tower. The one plant is located within the Jeb power tower? Cartha asks, the information you've come to find. I know where the one plant is, Darius answers, still disgruntled. By chance, the plant was not particularly ravenous when all of us were fed to it, and I somehow managed to crawl my way out of its root system and escape the power tower dungeon. But it cost me my left hand. Pulling back the ropes encircling his left arm, Darius reveals a bruised, bloody stump where his hand was once attached, a small but terrible reminder of his encounter with the one plant. Even Ariana turns away, the wound too gruesome to look at. The story of Darius seems quite tragic. Let's do a wisdom check on your hero to see what you think of all this. Needing a 14 or less from Janet, a 20 was rolled. Failure, from what you know of the ultimates, Darius' capture, imprisonment and near execution all seem highly likely, certainly enough to transform an evil assassin into something a little more tolerant and open-minded. Darius seems quite convincing. You still can't forgive him for murdering Ariana's brother, of course, but you no longer seek revenge. So why are you here? Eswin asks, still distrusting of the former ultimate. The dwarven house here became the greatest adversary of the ultimates for decades, Darius responds with a soft, steady tone. I know where the one plant is hidden, but I don't know how to kill it. The plant is all but indestructible. I was hoping this library may provide clues in how to destroy the one plant. And what have you discovered? Redfern asks. Here, let me show you. Darius responds, stepping back to the books he had dropped a short time ago. Selecting a particular old tome, dropping it atop the stone table here and quickly paging through it, Darius stops upon a page that shows an illustration of what must be the one plant. Written in Dwarven, Darius then recites an appropriate passage from the book. Impervious to all weapons and spells, one must speak with plants and utter the safe word ulticide to cause the one plant to expose its reproductive organs. Pouring the strongest of acids upon these organs will castrate the plant and render it forever docile and useless. I know how to get into the dungeon beneath the Jep Power Tower, Darius continues, his sudden passion almost contagious. There is also supplies within the dungeon, acid for sure and a massive collection of old scrolls. I am sure we can recover a Speak with Plants scroll. With the knowledge from this dwarven book, we can destroy the one plant and bring the ultimates to their knees. Darius closes the book and stands upright again, his face suddenly serious. But I can't do it without all of you. What do you say? Choose an option: altruism, put aside the past and trust you. Honor, anything to destroy the one plant. Tolerance, I suppose we can work together? You're asking us to trust a Chegorian ultimate. Redfern objects, recognizing the opportunity but totally distrustful of Darius. Former ultimate, Darius responds, remaining respectful. I hate the ultimates as well and want to bring them down. Shocked and horrified by the direction of the conversation, Ariana interrupts, addressing all of you there. You're not going to trust this wicked, evil man? Ariana condemns, her hatred for Darius still absolute. He murdered my brother in cold blood, he will do the same to us? My lady, I assure you that I am a changed man, Darius replies humbly, bowing his head in deep respect. The ultimate who sacrificed your brother for selfish gain is already dead, and I have taken that man's place. I submit to your party's judgment, tell me what to do and I will do it. Janet, it seems that if you decide to accept the offer of Darius and try to destroy the one plant together, you may further break Ariana's heart in the process. How do you respond? Choose an option: charisma, try to put Ariana's mind at ease; intelligence, remind Ariana of the main goal; wisdom, ask the entire party for their opinion. Putting it to a vote, you ask each member of the party whether you should join with Darius and try to destroy the one plant together. One by one your heroes agree, and you tell Ariana that destroying the one plant, even with the help of Darius, would honor her brother Benjamin's legacy. Unable to accept the idea of Darius joining your party, Ariana turns away, her heart breaking further. While that's painful to see, you recognize what you need to do in support of the bigger picture here. Darius, I agree, our goals seem aligned. So yes, we will go with you to the Jep Power Tower and try to destroy the one plant. Well then, go our separate ways. Welcome Darius to your party. Darius is a level 6 magic user and takes his place at your side. Click his profile to learn about him. Then, Darius, what's your plan? Eswin asks, the magic user now part of your adventuring party. I recovered my ring of teleportation during my escape, the ex-ultimate returns, showing it to you on his remaining right hand. I can teleport all of us into the dungeon of the Jep Power Tower, where we will first need to secure some strong acid and a scroll of Speak with Plants. Then, I can lead us to the one plant itself, where we can effectively destroy it. And what sort of resistance can we expect? Eswin responds, needing to know more. I won't lie, the dungeon is heavily guarded, so we will certainly meet with resistance. There is also a tremendous amount of history down there, most of which I've never encountered before, so we will be dealing with a lot of unknowns. The mission will be difficult. Are you sure you're up to the challenge? Given everything you've heard now these past few minutes, let's do an intelligence check on your hero and see what more you may be thinking. Needing a 13 or less from Janet, a 7 was rolled. Success. All in all, the plan of Darius seems sound, at least providing a chance for success. You remain wary of your former enemy, of course, and will watch him like a hawk. But if he can get you into the bowels of the power tower, help you secure the items you need and ultimately help effectively destroy the one nemesis plant, you will have completed a great quest and the inner circle will surely honor you accordingly. So, all in all, you're feeling good about the mission. The plan is viable. Eswin nods, agreeing with Darius. It seems we are fortunate to have found you here in these ruins. It is I who am fortunate, Darius responds with a hint of a smile. I could not do this without a powerful adventuring party like yourselves. Congratulations, Janet. You've completed the Find the One Plant quest, so let's go ahead and reward your party with some bonus experience. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. Party experience bonus. Each hero earns 22 experience points. Marioleth has gained a new energy level and receives 3 new hit points and 1 new spell. Click the spells button to assign the new spell. Redfern has gained a new energy level and receives 3 new hit points and 1 new spell. Click the spells button to assign the new spell. I am ready to teleport all of us to the Power Tower dungeon whenever you're ready. Darius alerts all of you. You may want to rest and recover before we leave. Several of your heroes nod their heads, glad to have at least a little downtime before initiating yet another quest. GM note, your quest log has been updated. Click the quests button for all the details. I can't do this. Ariana suddenly blurts out, stepping away from you. I will not follow the murderer of my brother. Ariana, it's okay, Redfern responds, trying to comfort her. You don't have to trust this man, just tolerate him, for the good of the quest. No. The elf screams, nearly inconsolable. He needs to go, it's either him or me. Uh-oh, it appears that Ariana is demanding that you address her surprise ultimatum. Choose an option. Empathy, please, we need to stay together. Optimism, Ariana, it will be alright. Tolerance, put aside your pain and stay. Ariana, we need to stay together. Kartha replies, genuinely surprised by the ultimatum. Please, we've become a family, don't leave us now. The young elf stares blankly at all of you for several long moments, her look of shock and betrayal absolutely heartbreaking. On the verge of tears, Ariana then blurts out her answer, turning toward the only door to the south. You've made your decision, and now I make mine. GM note, Ariana has just left the adventuring party, and with that, Ariana rushes out of the small library and departs, leaving all of you in stunned silence. I am so sorry for the pain I've caused, Darius finally utters, again bowing his head. She's so young, it's best we leave her alone for now, Eswin replies. Let's trust we will see her again very soon. Your heroes all agree, each of you wounded by the sudden departure of the elf. Your party unexpectedly reduced by 1, it's time to rest, memorize spells, and recover. The area here relatively free of the dungeon's poison. Feel free to remain here as long as you wish. Hint, now that Darius has joined your party, review his spells and ensure they're what you want. Indeed, be sure all your heroes have their full allotment and selection of spells. When you're ready to teleport to the Power Tower dungeon and initiate your newest quest, select the very first option from the Travel to New Area dropdown. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and Janet casts Cure Light Wounds on herself, healing her for 8 hit points. Janet casts Cure Moderate Wounds on Eswin, healing him for 15 hit points. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Barthol, healing him for 8 hit points. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on Marialeth, healing her for 6 hit points. Sainadirs casts Cure Light Wounds on Redfern, healing him for 8 hit points. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and re-energized. Kartha casts Cure Light Wounds on herself, healing her for 3 hit points. Sainadirs casts Cure Light Wounds on himself, healing him for 4 hit points. Your party rests and recovers for 8 hours. Wounds are tended, spells are memorized and your heroes are refreshed and Barthol has a 50% chance of picking the lock and rolls a 39 on percentile dice. Success. The desk is unlocked and now easily opened. Unfortunately, the desk has nothing of value.